Greetings, mortals. Welcome to Midgard. Just kidding, you're already there. This week's review, we'll be talking about Journey into Mystery number 622. I'm recommending this particular book because it is an amazing read for people who want to get into the Thor universe but don't really know where to start. Before our story takes place, Loki has brought down some crazy end-of-the-world shenanigans on Asgard. At the very last minute, without any explanation, sacrifices himself and dies so that Asgard is not destroyed. In the midst of all of this confusion, Thor comes across a younger reincarnation of his brother Loki and takes him under his wing. 622 is the beginning of a story that features our new young Loki, who is definitely one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe right now. The beginning of our story sees a group of magpies fly away, and they fly all throughout the 9 realms. It gives us a really broad, really insightful view into the world of Thor and the World Tree that we don't usually get to see in a lot of Thor or Avengers stories, for example. At the end of their journey, only one magpie is left, and this magpie takes our young new Loki on an incredible adventure to discover what his predecessor's intentions really were when he left the world Loki-less. The interaction between old Loki and new Loki in the middle of this issue is so much fun because you really get to see the comparisons between the two versions of himself. He's still very self-serving, he's still very resourceful, and he's still very manipulative, but his intentions are very different. His loyalty to Thor comes into play, and his desire to do what's right for Asgard also comes into play, and he's very distrustful of himself, and it's really funny to see. Throughout the series, you'll also see Thor's regular cast of friends begrudgingly protecting young Loki at Thor's request when Thor is not around. Particularly, Volstagg has a lot of really funny interactions with young Loki. I remember when this particular story came out. It's brilliantly written by Kieran Gillen. He's very talented, very underrated writer, as the story itself is an incredibly underrated story. We didn't have a huge crowd of people picking at this particular title, but it was something that I felt very passionate about putting in everyone's hands because it's just that good. 622 has some great scripting. There's some awesome dialogue between Loki and Thor talking about the Asgardians not trusting him, about what it will take for the Asgardians to start to trust him again. And there's some particularly funny conversations going on about Loki's first impression of social media and why no one on the internet believes that he's really a god. I love the artwork in this particular story arc. The paint really lends itself to the mythical feel of the book. So this particular story, I would love to go into all sorts of detail and tell you about all the really cool, clever things that Loki does that make him my favorite character, but I can't because they're spoilers. So you guys know my rule about spoilers, absolutely no way. Trust me, just pick up Journey into Mystery number 622. You will thank me profusely. Thanks again to Austin Books and Comics for allowing us to film in their awesome store and show off their beautiful comics. Please be sure to like this video, leave your comments down below, subscribe so you can see more about some of the other comics that we talk about, and may the hammer of Thor strike you down if you don't share this with everyone you know. Does Wonder Woman want a little hot piece of Superman action? Is Lois jealous of Wonder Woman? These questions and more. Thus begins one hateful, angry monkey's journey to find his little girl.